All right, what's going on? This is 49ers Intel. And thankfully, I have my friend Casper driving. Serious. I just get to sit shotgun while a ghost drives, and I'm ghost riding. And we get to talk about the 49ers. I'm on my way to the Dolphin Club. I want to make it to swim in the bay before it gets dark. I think that I will succeed. As you can see, we got nice blue skies in San Francisco. And the trippiest part of all this is whenever we have to make a turn, because you just sit here and you watch the wheel turn without there being a driver there. But with Waymo, as opposed to Cruise, I used to show you guys cruise rides from the back seat. You can sit in the front, which is pretty neat. So I get a little bit of a better view. And whenever we pass something cool in San Francisco, I can flip the camera and we can take a look. Because we're going to be driving across a lot of town. Not all of town, but a lot of town today. So 49ers Intel. I was in the locker room today. Talked to Eric Armstead, and Eric says that he plans to play on Sunday. He didn't practice again today. Neither did Jordan Mason with a hamstring injury or Ray McLeod with a rib injury. The only one of those three players that I saw in the locker room and talked to in the locker room was Eric Armstead, who has a foot issue. However, it's the other foot. It's not the foot that gave him a lot of trouble last year with the plantar fasciitis. So that's good news for the 49ers and for Eric Armstead. Plantar fasciitis, by the way, is just a tricky situation. You see so many times that be something that lingers. And it lingered last year for Eric Armstead. He lost 8 games of his season because of it. And the fact that it's not the same issue as last year, not the same foot as last year, I think is good news for him, because Eric is playing top-level football right now. Over the past 3 weeks, since the 49ers bye, since they picked up Chase Young, he's at the very top of the list as far as defensive tackle pass rushing production goes. I shared those numbers with him today. And, you know, to me, it's just such a departure from some of the narratives surrounding Eric Armstead over the years. I know that he's been in the crosshairs many times. First, as an off-injured young player for San Francisco, right? Remember, in those early seasons, Eric Armstead didn't get to string together as many games as he would have liked. And a lot of people were saying, oh, this guy's a bust, all this and all that. And he really broke out in 2018 and 2019. And he turned into an absolute fixture of a defensive lineman. But I think some of the perception of Eric Armstead has been hurt by the fact that the 49ers traded away DeForest Buckner and kept Armstead instead of him. And a lot of people were looking at it as an either-or kind of thing, maybe too closely trying to compare the metrics of both of these two guys without understanding that Eric Armstead is a different type of player. He's more of a versatile player that can play end or tackle, and boy, is he a hell of a run stopper. Well, 2021 should have made people finally realize the value of Eric Armstead. He single-handedly turned the 49ers defensive line around from a team that was below average against the run to the number one run defense in the NFL when he moved from the end to inside. And the playoff damage that Eric Armstead did, especially in that game against the Packers, was absolutely sensational. Obviously, he dealt with the foot issue last year, but this season, he has evolved into a top-tier pass rusher. And that, to me, it's such a huge development for the 49ers, because they also have Javon Hargrave, another defensive tackle on that line. And Hargrave is lower to the ground. He's one of those stout run defenders, whereas Eric Armstead is and stout run defenders and very explosive pass rushers, I should say, with Javon Hargrave. He rushes the passer with that low center of gravity, that point of leverage, while Eric Armstead is damn near 6'8". So he's getting his hands up in quarterbacks' faces. He's interfering throws. He's pressuring even when he's not really reaching the quarterback with his body, because he could reach the quarterback with that massive wingspan. And the combination of Armstead and Hargrave on the inside over the past 3 games has been so lethally damaging for that 49ers defensive line. There's a reason why they're delivering at a level that's even more productive than 2019. And it's not just because of Chase Young and Nick Bosa, and they're doing a ton on the outside. But Armstead and Hargrave on the inside, in addition to those two guys on the outside, boy, they are sure doing a number on opposing defenses. It really has been something to watch for the 49ers. So Armstead, he's going to be, or he's planning to play in this game. He's resting his foot this week. I think that's going to be, I mean, the matchup between the 49ers defensive line and the Eagles offensive line is one of the marquee positional matchups that you'll see anywhere in the NFL this season. The Eagles have 4 players up front who have been at least Pro Bowl alternates at some point in their career. So 4 out of 5 guys up front, Pro Bowlers, safe to say that, against the 49ers, who probably have the most talented defensive line in their franchise's history. I don't think that we saw a fair representation of what this particular matchup could be during last season's NFC Championship game because of a few reasons. The main one was that the main one was that Brock Purdy got hurt and the 49ers defense wasn't really in position to succeed all game because of that, because you need complementary football. But another big one was that Nick Bosa got hurt early in that game on a freak play there on the sideline. I mean, he wasn't playing, and the Eagles gunner, who picked up a personal foul on the play because he was pushing a 49ers player out of bounds, he hit Nick Bosa in the calf. And I don't think that Nick was his usual self. He had 3 pressures, but he was also facing a really, really good right tackle in Lane Johnson. And a lot of people are going to be talking about Lane Johnson potentially leaving early. That's been a huge point of discussion on social media. And I agree. I think that he might be getting a nudge early. I think the Eagles know how to play the rules or the lack of enforcement of the rules to their advantage. They're really, really damn good at it. That offensive line can get a little grabby at times too. But if they don't call it, then for all intents and purposes, it's not a penalty. Nick Bosa mentioned it this week. The Eagles have a veteran savvy up front. And they also, part of that veteran savvy is letting up the type of pressure that they know that Jalen Hurts can get away from, because he's a really mobile quarterback. He's also a really strong quarterback. I mean, one of the most repeated facts, and it's a repeatable fact because it is a very impressive one, is that Jalen Hurts can squat 600 pounds. So this is a big QB who's tough to bring down, who could also move. And the Eagles offensive line, if you watch them play, they know when they can allow pressure and what side they can allow pressure to and what side they can't allow pressure to. They're very, very savvy about this. They're very economical and efficient with their blocking mechanisms. And you have to give them credit for that. The 49ers are going to have to be efficient with their pass rushing mechanisms in response. Right now, we are on Market Street in San Francisco, letting my friend do the driving. You can't see my friend because he's invisible, but he's doing a good job driving. I'm going to arrive in 16 minutes. Doing a nice job. But there is a lot of traffic. He's got another invisible driving friend right in front of us, as you can see. That car right in front of us with the camera equipment on top, that's the same model as the one that I'm in right now. It's a nice, comfortable ride, too. I got plenty of room for my legs, even though I got that. I mean, I have the long legs, right, with the 6'5" height. I don't like sitting in the back. So I would rather be here in the front, and we could see what's going on in the city. We're going to make that left turn here from Market Street onto Franklin. Maybe we make this light right here. No, we won't. Unfortunate. A lot of traffic in the city, but it's good. Gives me a little bit of a longer time to talk to all of you. So this matchup in the trenches, what an opportunity for the 49ers defensive line to truly legitimize the damage it's been doing over the past 3 weeks, right? You want best against best, good on good. That's what Nick Bosa said. Good on good is what's happening in this game against the Eagles. Other side of the football, it's also a good matchup, although Fletcher Cox hasn't been practicing this week, so Eagles might be a little bit weakened on the defensive line. You know what else they're weakened by is Javon Hargrave plays for the 49ers now instead of them. Oh, look, trolley in San Francisco. These things are cool. They take them from different cities around the world, and then they run up and down Market Street. I wish I would have seen where that one was from. Maybe we'll see right now. We'll take a look as we drive by. Chicago. Cool. That one was from Chicago. Okay, we made it onto Franklin Street. Now, at some point, we'll hit a green wave. And Casper over here driving will hopefully hit the green wave so we're not hitting red lights. But I fully trust him. I know a lot of you probably don't. But Javon Hargrave's on the 49ers now, which is a big deal because Philadelphia has, their equation of the trenches has lost one of the best pass rushing defensive tackles in the game. They've picked up Jalen Carter, who's a really good player, but I don't think he has the veteran savvy that Javon Hargrave has yet. Jalen is just a rookie. The Eagles are also running a slightly different front this year. It's a little bit more of a 3-4 than a 4-3. New defensive coordinator. They haven't been nearly as good as last year when it comes to pressuring and sacking the quarterback. The 49ers have taken their spot as probably the top team to do that, especially after picking up Chase Young. So I see this game in terms of the big picture. I see a really good Eagles offense and a really good Eagles offensive line against a really good 49ers defense and very solid 49ers defensive line. I see that maybe being a little bit a push, right? If we want to be fair, let's just call it a push. We won't know how it's going to play out until Sunday, but on paper, that's what it looks like. But on the other side of the ball, I see the 49ers having a distinct advantage over Philadelphia and that defense, which has been rather mediocre this season. Now, one area where the 49ers may not have an advantage is up front, because even though the Philadelphia defensive line has not been as good as last year, the 49ers offensive line has been a little bit shaky, especially in pass protection. Oh, look, San Francisco City Hall. We're going to take a look in about one light at City Hall. I wonder if they're going to light it up in red and gold this week. They usually wait till the playoffs to do that. But perhaps we see City Hall lit up in 49ers colors here as they're about to play the Eagles. That's what it looks like. It's basking in that sunshine. Late afternoon, golden hour sunshine. City Hall looking nice. All right, we continue the drive down Franklin Street. I think the 49ers offensive line has had some issues in pass protection this year, especially on the right side. And the Eagles, even though they haven't been getting as much pressure this year, they might have a bit of an edge there. But I think where the 49ers have the overarching edge offensively is because of their quarterback, Brock Purdy. He is delivering elite efficiency despite the fact that his offensive line has not delivered good pass blocking scores. And that's something that really should be appreciated. He is a difference maker. He was the difference last year when Brock Purdy went down. That whole game changed. Brock Purdy actually finished 4 for 4 against the Eagles last year. 2 throws before the injury, 2 throws after. Obviously, the 2 throws after were just little half-hearted tosses. So Brock Purdy has given the 49ers a sizable edge on paper over this Philadelphia offense. It's indisputable, and we'll see if they can translate that advantage from paper to football field on Sunday. All right, more 49ers intel for you. Brock Purdy today talked about the 49ers talked about the 49ers playing in the rain. They played one game in the rain so far this year against Cleveland. And he said that he's not planning to wear a glove on his throwing hand unless it's an absolute downpour. He did that before against in college. I don't know who it was against, but while he was playing for Iowa State. But Purdy said that if it's only moderately raining, then he's not going to be wearing the glove on his right hand. He said that he grips the ball just as well in those conditions as if it were completely dry. So right now we're looking at the forecast. It's not as nice as it is here in San Francisco as I'm stuck on Franklin Street. Speaking of Philadelphia, Ben Franklin Street. There you see, 1500 Franklin. They're saying about 50% chance of rain in Philly. It's been vacillating between 40 and 60%. I don't think it's going to be as crazy as it was last week, but maybe it will be. You're going to look down toward downtown. I think that's Bush, right? Yeah, that's Bush, and this is going to be Pine Street. Just wanted to give you a nice little look of golden hour in the city. It's fun to drive at these times. We've got to do this a little bit more often. Driving live is what I'll call it. Especially with Waymo, like I said, I could sit in the front seat. It might look like I'm driving, but I'm not for those of you just coming aboard. This car is just doing a nice job navigating through traffic. California Street's one of my favorites in San Francisco. The cable cars run up and down California. Not this part, though. You might be able to see the cable cars further down that way. We just crossed it. So we're officially in Nob Hill territory now. Pacific Heights, Nob Hill. We're on Franklin, so I guess we're going to be in Pac Heights. Got to be on the other side of Van Ness. Yeah, this driver right here is a lot safer than you guys driving. Any of you watching right now. You think that you're a good driver? No. Your accident rate is much higher than this guy's accident rate. Look, he's even going on a yellow light. You got to love that. You got to love people that don't slam the brakes when they see that the light is yellow. Proceed through the light. It doesn't mean stop. It just means speed up. That's what yellow means. So this car doing a good job. I can now see the water in front of me. Look at that. Beautiful. This is the shot right here. This is the green wave on Franklin. I think the car is going to make it. Good job. See the countdown? It's like 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Yellow. I don't know if we're not gonna hit the entire green wave. The traffic is moving too slow. We'll make this one though. We'll get across Broadway on the yellow. Love it. And now, I mean, we got a full 8 seconds to make it across Vallejo. Yeah, we're doing well. Picking up the pace here. Very nice. Thanks. Good job. Keep up the good driving. Fully downhill. Made it through Green Street. Nice. All right, any questions? I'm not too far from the water at this point, so happy to answer anything that you want to talk about 49ers wise. We got to change lanes. Oh, yes. We changed lanes. This is too fun. Wait till you see the wheel on this car turn. I don't know which one we're going to turn at, but I'll figure it out here in a second. Do I tip the Invisible Man? No, I don't think so. I think they ask you for a tip, but then you're just tipping the company. Then you just tip the company if you tip the car. You're not. I think the connection's a little bit shaky. I think we're going through a bad spot. Anyway, 49ers questions. Go ahead and post them. I'm still sitting in a little bit of traffic. The Gross Meta says, what will the excuses from Purdy's haters be after the Niners destroy the Eagles in Philly's house? I don't know. It's tiresome at this point. Let's just enjoy the game. Like Richard Sherman said, you're a fan. Enjoy the game. I'm not talking to you. I'm just speaking in general. It's just tiresome to hear people think that they're experts on the topic and they're not. And they just drone on and on about the system and all this and all that as if every quarterback didn't play in a system. I mean, they all do. It's a system sport. And Brock Purdy is the best at playing within the system this year. Oh, we're turning. The car decided not to sit in traffic and it decided to turn. We're going to be turning one more time here in a few minutes. I absolutely love that. It said enough of this crap. We're not waiting on Franklin. We're going to go to Van Ness, maybe even go up this hill. You know, this is a pretty steep hill. We're on Greenwich right now. Pretty steep hill up Russian Hill. And I think that we're going to go straight. This is going to be interesting. All right, I'll keep on answering your questions if I see them. You got good temperature control. What are the padded helmets for if there's no contact in practice? There is sometimes contact in practice, especially for the trench guys. There's no tackling in practice, but up front, you've got guys butting heads. You've got defensive and offensive linemen engaging. So no live tackling is different than no contact. We're going to test the notorious hills in Russian Hill with Waymo. Yes, I'm just reading one of the comments. Kittle over the middle in this game. Yes, it's going to be big. Philadelphia is about as bad as a defense gets at defending over the middle, especially to the intermediate part of the field. Here we go. No driver or invisible driver. And we are powering up the hill. Look at this. This is a steep hill. It's a good like 15 to 20% grade. And now we're going to be turning left. So watch. This is the cool part. We got a pedestrian there. We got to be careful. And look at this guy just trying to cut us off. But this car is unfazed. Good job. Very good job. The Philadelphia defense ranks number 32, which is dead last in the NFL in efficiency covering tight ends. So I think the 49ers, this lines up as a game to attack the middle of the field, and that can be through the tight end. Now, maybe Philadelphia tries to overcompensate for the fact that they haven't been good at that. And if they try to overcompensate for it, then maybe Christian McCaffrey has a big game, or maybe Deebo Samuel has a big game. Maybe Brandon Ayuk does. I'll tell you what, last year, the 49ers got Brandon Ayuk very open against James Bradbury on the play that Brock Purdy got hurt. So it's a matter of your QB buying enough time, you protecting your quarterback for long enough. It is a matter of doing all that to take advantage of the advantages and the matchups that you have downfield. And that's going to determine a lot of success. Here's Galileo High School, alma mater of O.J. Simpson. That's the football field right there. And we are coming up on Aquatic Park. That's the Maritime Museum in front of me. You will see here in a second. I know you saw the water as we were driving down Polk Street. This is the back of Ghirardelli Square. That's the former chocolate factory. Yes, Trent Williams body slammed an Eagles player. That was against Philadelphia last year. X factor for the 49ers is going to be winning in the trenches and Brock Purdy, because Brock Purdy can help your trench play look a lot better. And here we go, down by Aquatic Park. By the way, I'm going to swim in the bay right now. That's why I'm in the ride. Then we're going to watch 49ers and Seahawks. Okay, here comes another turn. This is the fun part. No, we're not going to watch 49ers and Seahawks. We're going to watch the Cowboys and the Seahawks, sorry. I'm just paying attention to the views right now. You can see Alcatraz. It's going to be cold, but it's going to be nice out there. I'm looking forward to this. Cowboys and the Seahawks tonight. Who do you got? Cowboys are obviously favored. 49ers, I don't think they mind all that much as to who wins this game. I don't think the 49ers will have trouble winning the NFC West. But maybe you always want the team that you're racing with in the division to lose. But I think that, you also have to talk about one seed implications. And Dallas is right there with the 49ers in that race. So I don't think that you would mind the Dallas Cowboys losing this game. Cable cars. Andrew asks, can both teams lose? Technically, yes, they can tie. And that means that neither of them wins. So maybe you root for a tie if you're a 49ers fan. I see the cable cars. This is the turnaround for cable cars at Hyde Street at the very end of the water, Hyde and Bay. I need to get down a block that way, but there's no left turn allowed here. And I don't know if this car is going to break the law. I think it's going to go straight and take me around the block, which is fine. That's good. We want the car to follow the law. We want our ghost driver here to do a good job. Yeah, we're going to go straight. We're going to turn left. It's going to be all good. So I am going to the Dolphin Club. It's going to be a nice swim in the bay. I wanted to make it before the sunset because it's even colder if you go, with there being no psychological warmth from some light outside. And I didn't want to leave you guys out to dry. I wanted to give you your 49ers intel. So I said, I'm going to take a driverless car. Oh my God, it's In-N-Out Burger. Fisherman's Wharf. Look at that. So I said, yeah, I'm going to take the driverless car so I can do 49ers intel on the ride. And now this thing is talking to me now, so I'm going to have to get going. I will give you the approach to Dolphin Club, though. Look, we got a pedestrian who is really sketched out about crossing in front of us. But, for the most part, pedestrians are starting to trust these cars. I have another one crossing. We're going to have one more turn for you here. And we're going to be pulling up to the Dolphin Club. There we go. There's that final turn. Perfect. Oh, it's windy. It's going to be cold out there. It's going to be cold. I forgot to bring my water camera, but you wouldn't be able to hear me anyway. This is what I'm swimming in now, this wind. See those flags? Oh, God. Not good. This is the South End Club, the one with the red trim, and the one with the blue trim is the Dolphin Club. And the sunset looks like it's going to be nice tonight. That's cool as well. South End, Dolphin. And this little bike taxi in front of us is making everything go slow. But I'm going to go into here. It says we're finding a spot to pull over. So this car just needs to let me know when we actually find it. Oh, God. This is going to be a brutal swim. But you can see the Golden Gate Bridge and the water that I'm going to hit. All right, we're here. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you soon. Say bye to my friend, the invisible driver. 49ers Intel, signing off. We'll see ya.